Dr. Kia Pruitt, shining wisdom's light, teaching soul tribe how to see through the night. Ancient scriptures and bloodlines she knows, spreading truth wherever she goes. Soul tribe rising, hear her call, raising vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia shows the way to a brighter, freer day. Through her channel, knowledge flows, breaking chains that hold us close, teaching paths to abundance and wealth, guiding others to free themselves. Soul tribe rising, hear her call, raising vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia shows the way to a brighter, freer day. From currencies to investments divine, she's helping her tribe to realign with wisdom, ancient and new, showing what we all can do. Soul tribe rising, hear her call, raising vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia shows the way to a brighter, freer day. Soul tribe rising, hear her call, raising vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia lights the way to a new and brighter day.
Greetings, family. Welcome. We're back. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I'm so happy to be here. Please put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me, okay? I am not at my home. I'm in the library. I had some issues at the home with the internet there, so let me know if you can hear me. I can't speak too loudly because I am in the library in one of the study rooms. Yay, you can hear me. So this is Dr. Kia Pruitt. Welcome, everybody. Today is Friday. Happy Friday. Yay! It is, what is today? October the 17th. This is the 17th number as in Q. So I'm so happy to be here, family. I'm so excited. Happy Friday. We are back. And I just came on to say, stay encouraged. Okay. So much is going on behind the scenes and actually in front of the scenes, right? We know that the republic has been restored. How do we know? Because we're experiencing a government shutdown right now. So remember when the Supreme Court of the United States overturned the Chevron doctrine last year? What that meant was the Supreme Court of the United States had determined that the government that was operating the United States Incorporated was unlawful, and they also determined that they were treasonous. As such, they said that 441 organizations have been created, such as the FBI, the CIA, what else? IRS, um, DMV, a whole bunch of 441. Now, when you go to the website, they says there are 442. That those agencies created themselves and erroneously classified themselves as being a part of the government agencies, but those government agencies were only corporations that were not a part of our republic. So not only were those agencies unlawful and treasonous, but so is the United States Incorporated that had usurped authority from our republic. All of that was determined to be treasonous and unlawful. So when the Supreme Court of the United States overturned the Chevron doctrine, they went further by saying not only are those organizations unlawful, but any judge that participated and forced you to pay a fine when the policy enforcers or police officers arrested you for not going by those laws or told you had to pay a fine, those judges that participated also committed treason. And any judge that knew of a judge that participated committed misprision of treason, is what they said. So this is why we're hearing now that a lot of judges are actually being arrested. So the Supreme Court of the United States made a precedented announcement by saying that the government was fake, or that it had been treasonous. So then when President Trump came back, see, they were setting the stage for President Trump coming back. When President Trump came back, then he tasked Elon Musk with the job of creating DOGE, of the Department of Government Efficiency. Interestingly enough, leading up to that, there was a Doge coin that had come out. Remember, a digital coin or cryptocurrency that had come out, and nobody knew really what Doge was, the Department of Government Efficiency. So when Elon Musk and President Trump got together and decided that they would downsize the government, that was because the Supreme Court of the United States had already ruled the year before that the government was unlawful, and all 441 of those agencies were treasonous. So then President Trump, on January 28th, 2025, I see you, Chief Mack, in the back office. He sent out an email to over 2 million people that work for the federal government, telling them that they had the option to leave, take an early retirement, and that they would, they'd be okay. They would have their monies or whatever, but they knew that their last day would be September the 30th. So all of this was happening behind the scenes. And for some of you all, if you knew where to follow, in front of the scenes. So that is why on September the 30th, many people exited the federal government. They had already had their packages ready. They had already been told as of January 28th, when President Trump sent out those 2 million emails, that September 30th would be their last day. What was significant about that day is that it was during a harvest moon. The Gold Star Mother Susan Price told me that the planet was in, I think she said Aries, whichever cycle it was in, it deals with the military. Also, September the 30th at midnight, when the government shut down, that was the eve of October 1st, my birthday, which was also Yom Kippur. So Yom Kippur is what Israelites or Hebrew people, Jewish people, call a high holy day. And during Yom Kippur, we fast. I'm Hebrew, I'm an Israelite, I'm indigenous, I'm American, but during that time period, we fast for 24 hours. We also call Yom Kippur the Day of Atonement. When you break down the word at atonement, is at one ment or mentality. So we fast for 24 hours so that we can atone for our sins, or ask God to forgive for our sins, and so that we can be at one mind or ment or mentality with God. So we fast during that period. And I thought it was very interesting that the government shut down on September the 30th. But I had been saying for years, since Trump's first administration, that the republic would be restored. Our lawful government will happen around the Hebrew holy days, but specifically around the Feast of Trumpets. So for we Israelites or Hebrew people, the Feast of Trumpets is significant because the Feast of Trumpets commemorates in the Old Testament when Moses received the commandments from the Mount. In the New Testament, the Feast of Trumpets represents the last day for Messianic Jews and for Christians. When the trumpet sounds, there'll be a second coming of Christ to introduce his second coming. And then the dead in Christ will rise first, and those that are alive and remain will be caught up to meet them in the air. And the way I see that metaphysically playing out is when the trumpet sounds, or, an announcement comes, then Christ, or the second coming of Christ, or Christ consciousness, is actually what's being announced. And then the people will have a great awakening, and the dead, those who are sleeping, will arise. And then those who are alive and remain will be caught up to meet them in the air, meaning the planet will have ascended, and everybody's ascending with the planet at the sound of the trumpet. So that's why we commemorate the Feast of Trumpets, which happened actually around between the September 22nd and the 24th. On September 22nd and 24th of this year. So that's why we celebrate the Feast of Trumpets. The trumpet represents make an announcement, you sound an alarm, you blow the trumpets before any Hebrew or Israelite feast days, high holy days. You blow the trumpet at a wedding, you blow the trumpet or the shofar at the arrival of the king, to announce the arrival of the king. You blow the trumpet when you are announcing a war. So I knew that the old guard would change, and the old United States incorporated itself in 1871 in the state of Delaware, the group of bloodline families that usurped authority from the Republic here in America. I knew that it would all end around this feast season. So President Donald Trump is the trumpet in Zion. He is the one that's been blown against the deep state. He is that announcement that we have arrived to 50, or to the age of Aquarius. So for years, I've been saying it's going to happen during the Feast of Trumpets. And if you recall, during this time period, I always play the shofar, introducing the feast day. So the first feast in this period for us Israelites or Hebrew people is the Feast of Trumpets on around September 22nd through the 24th. Some people say the 25th. To announce the high holy day, to commemorate the time when Moses received the 10 commandments, and to commemorate the second coming of Christ, or what I call Christ consciousness. And then after that, after the Feast of Trumpets, then you count 10 days from that September 22nd, 23rd time period, and you'll end up somewhere between October 1st and October 2nd. That date, after you count 10 days, is the Day of Atonement, or At One Mint, which happened around October the 1st. So I knew the government was shut down between the Feast of Trumpets and Atonement, because the government, the faithful government, has a lot to atone for. They got a lot to make amends for. But that 10-day period between the Feast of Trumpets and Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, for those 10 days, we call that the 10 days of awe. And that's where you go to people that you know you've offended, and you make amends with them. And then if you know you've offended them, then you ask for forgiveness during those 10 days. We really go through this every year. Now, you're supposed to do this all through the year, but this is a time we get serious about it, because we know God is watching according to, our practices. So you have the Feast of Trumpets, then you have 10 days, those 10 days of awe, where you're getting right with people that you've offended. And if people have offended you, you have an obligation to go to them, confront them, which literally just means to extend the olive branch, let them know they've offended you, and give them the opportunity to repent. So a lot of times people don't want to give people the opportunity to repent, but our culture and our principles say that you're supposed to give people an opportunity if they've offended you, and go to them, and you're supposed to ask for forgiveness. So we do that between the Feast of Trumpets and the Day of Atonement. So those 10 days, you're getting yourself right with other people. Then on Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, which was October 1st and 2nd, you fast for 24 hours, and then you are atoning with God and your ancestors. You might be pouring libations. Some people that go extension, they might have other practices where they light white candles to their ancestors. However you choose to do it, you make amends with God on October 1st and 2nd. So I knew that the old guard would end. I knew that the Feast of Trumpets was the alarm, the trumpet in Zion that Donald Trump was sounding against the deep state. And then after the Day of Atonement, or Yom Kippur, between October 1st and 2nd, you count about 4 days, and then you come up with the Feast of Tabernacles, or the Feast of Harvest. Some people call it the Feast of Booths, Booths, or Sukkot, Sukkot. This is during harvest season, the harvest moon, and it's just beautiful, because between the 6th and about the 13th, you have an 8-day celebration where we actually commemorate God's provisions when the children were in the wilderness, how God sustained the children of Israel when they came out of slavery. Think about today how we've been enslaved. So we think about how they were enslaved in Egypt. That's the biblical story for a long time. And Moses was the prophet that was sent to take them out. He was taking them out of Egypt or slavery into the promised land, into a better place, which was Canaan land. In today's time, that would be Canada, because you know that here in America is where everything started. And the old biblical maps show you that. Egypt is here, Canaan is here, Morocco is here, everything is here. So Moses took them out of slavery, and then they went through the wilderness before they made it to the promised land. Okay. The wilderness experience was only supposed to last 3 days, but the people were complaining, they were getting sick. They were, persecuting Moses. Why you take us out of slavery? Why is it taking so long? At least in slavery, Pharaoh gave us food for free. At least in slavery, we knew what time to go to bed. You know how people are when they have a slavery mentality. They complain and murmur, and they take on that victim mentality because they are a victim, but they don't necessarily see the promised land on the other side. So because they murmured and bickered and complained, Moses got upset and he talked to God. And so God said, they're complaining about the food that they have. I want you to call on heaven. And when he called out to God in heaven, food fell from the sky. Manna fell from the sky. Manna is known as, or the definition is, what is it? Because they don't know what they were eating. It was like a wafer. They put it in their mouth and it would just melt. And their third eye chakra, if you look at back the historical accounts, was open. Their psychic abilities, or I would just say they had an awakening, and it sustained their bodies. And then Moses hit a rock, and water would spring from the rock when they would get thirsty. So God provided for them while they were in their wilderness experience, waiting on the time to get to the promised land. Okay, so this is what we commemorate. And while they were there, they set up temporary dwellings called booths, Booths, and they made them out of branches, and they made them out of tree limbs and leaves, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what they stayed in while they were traversing through the wilderness until they made it to the promised land. So the wilderness means that trip between Egypt and Canaan land, which was the promised land. So Egypt is about Nashville area. Nashville, Tennessee, between Tennessee and Kentucky. If you know that Egypt started in America, and it goes all the way up through, they were traversing through Canaan land. So Canaan land, some scholars say, is actually Canada. It was only supposed to take 3 days. It took 40 years. Now, a lot of people didn't make it to the promised land. A lot of people died. In fact, the whole generation that made it out of slavery didn't even make it. Their children made it. And so this is what we commemorate. That's why we call it the Feast of Booths. It happened around this time. Also, what happened around this time was just that people celebrated the harvest season, like everything they had planted. It was time to now go and reap the harvest, to gather in the harvest. So that's why we celebrate it. But bring it back to today. We have been enslaved to at least 13 bloodline families. And then there are 13 bloodline families that control those bloodline families. And then there are unhuman beings. Some people call them the Anunnaki. Some people call them the custodians. Some people call them reptilians, draconians. You have those entities that control the bloodline families, that control the planet. Okay. Well, they are what we call the deep state, all of them. The humans, their human hybrids, and the entities that control them. All of them had enslaved the entire planet, us here in America, and people all over the world. So the military tasked President Donald Trump with the job of taking down the deep state. That's why, his real name is Trump. That's why they changed his name to Trump. He is that Trump card. He is the trumpet in Zion. The military tapped him on the shoulder to do this job. Whether people like him or not, that is exactly what we see happening around the feast day. So what happened September the 22nd, between the 22nd and 25th, our Feast of Trumpets, was President Trump sent out a letter to the military, to the National Guard, and told him to meet him and the Secretary of War, who used to be called the Secretary of Defense. Okay, but he renamed it to the Secretary of War because people respond differently when they know you're a Secretary of War. They have a little fear. They want to move. They want a little action, right? So President Trump said, I need a National Guard and leaders, military generals, not just in America, but from all over the world to meet me in Virginia on September the 30th. He met them there, but he sent the letter out during the Feast of Trumpets between the 22nd and 25th. They met him on the 30th. And then he gave them an order, and he sent them out to all the major cities that you know of, that I know of. He sent them only out to the major cities, but they're really everywhere. Okay, so they're in Washington, D.C., they're in Chicago, they're in Memphis, which is Egypt, right? And Chicago is where the Moroccan Empire had a seat there. And right now, the Moors are actually meeting and having a leadership conference. That's what Brother Michael Douglas Lloyd L told me. They're meeting right now, interestingly enough. Okay, so the Moorish Empire is being restored because that was the empire that was here before the bloodline families and the Europeans came here and overtook our government called the Republic and overtook the people that were here, the original Americans, the indigenous peoples. And when they overtook us, they took our government, they took our classification, they changed first they gave us white status because we were free white persons on the land. That's a status, that's not a color. And they changed and they called the Europeans that came here having black status because the Europeans that came here, most of them were slaves or prisoners. They had black status. They were called Negroes because Negro come from a longer word that deals with a particular type of monkey that some of the people were actually, unfortunately, genetically modified with these different beings. So, and they've done it to all of us. So they would call them Negro, they called them black. And then we were the free white persons on the land. But then they turned everything around and they changed the indigenous, original American classification from free white persons and Indian and indigenous to colored, Negro, black, and African American. But we were all part of the Moroccan Empire, and we actually had treaties with the Europeans that came here. And they were the ones that had the 13 colonies. They had their own laws, their own flag, which really is their banner of commerce, okay, and trading, because we had agreements. They had their own way of doing things. This is why both Obama and Trump said that Morocco was the first to acknowledge us, he said, but he means them. That Morocco was the first to acknowledge us as our own nation, because the Moroccan Empire here that started in America and actually extended out to that Middle East region and Africa. Everything started here. We were called Morocco first, or Al Maroc, or Amurica, or America, Turtle Island, the West Cape, West Africa, whatever. But we were Al Maroc first. Morocco over in Africa got their name much later, but the empire started here. And if you remember, George Washington, the president, paid a tribute to the Sultan of Morocco, who was stationed here in America. But Trump and Obama have said during their terms, Morocco was the first to acknowledge us as our own nation, because we acknowledged the 13 tribes or the colonists, or I don't even want to call them colonists because they weren't. They were just Europeans and slaves of the other Moors, of black folk, so-called black folk or brown people, the Moors that actually ruled Spain and Italy. They ruled all Europe. Some people say between 711 and 1492, but I say it was much greater than that because all Europeans started out being dark complected. Okay, but the Moors who controlled that region, at least recent history says between 711 and 1492, they brought the Europeans here. The Europeans were trying to escape a lot of stuff that was happening because the Moors over there were doing the same thing that, and a lot of them weren't even humans. A lot of them were human hybrids, or they were non-human beings. They were eating their children, trading their children. A lot of stuff that they're doing right here in the underground tunnels, they were doing over there first. They brought Europeans here. Then they start sending everybody here. Give us your weak, you're sick, you're in prison, you're infirmed. They brought them all those here, and they established their own government within those 13 colonies. And that's why Trump and Obama said they're the first, or Morocco. Al Maroc here in America was the first to acknowledge us, the 13 colonies, as our own nation. And they have their own nation because they have their own flag. That red, white, and blue flag is not the flag of America or Al Maroc. The red and green flag, the red flag with the green 5-pointed star, is the flag of Al Maroc. And that's why those two flags hang in the White House today. You can look it up. The 5 pointed star represent Al Marak, or the 5 principles of the Moroccan people. So that is love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And because the Europeans that came here abided by love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, we had a peace treaty with them. We didn't have any issues with them. But the deep state do what they do. They change everybody's, first of all, they classified everybody, which they shouldn't have. Then they turned it around, changed us from free white persons to black, because black is a status in law. That means you have no legal standing or status of a slave. We weren't slaves. This was our land. That's why the 1828 Webster's definition of American is the copper colored races found by Christopher Columbus, but now applied to Europeans. But they, of course, were not original Americans. And the Asians that they're calling Native Americans now, they're not the original Americans. You can call them Native Americans, but native born and natural born is two different things. Native born means you might have been born here on the land, but your bloodline is not from here. Your peoples are not from here. You did not spring from this soil. The native, so-called Native Americans, or the people they're calling indigenous, the ones that look mongoloid, the light-skinned ones with the slanted eyes that actually look Asian, that live in teepees. That's why you think they live in teepees. They're squatters on the land. They're not the original people. They crossed the Bering Strait from Asia. They was escaping whatever they were going through during a particular war. They were allowed to come here, and they squatted on the land. And the deep state that took over our land here in America changed our classification from free white persons, because we weren't slaves. We're prisoners of war. They changed us from free white persons to black, Negro, colored, and then later on African American, which actually is a classification of produce and meats. And they allowed the Native Americans, the squatters that are on the land, who we got along with, we didn't have no issue with them, to pay $5 to be on the Dawes Road, to be a $5 Indian. And they allowed some of the Europeans also to come and change their classification from Negro, black, colored, or whatever they were called. And they are family members, because we all done mixed and made love and all that, which is a beautiful thing. They changed their classification to confuse everybody. And they allowed them, though, to pay $5 to become a $5 Indian. And so then the government started giving them incentives that say, hey, we're going to let y'all take over, and you can call yourself Indian, and you can take part of the land. Then they start calling people from all over the world. Come on over here to America. It's the greatest place in the world, which it is. You can have the benefits. You can have this, that, and the third. But they never told them that they were allowing them to take from the indigenous copper colored people who were here before everybody got here. Okay, they didn't tell them that. So people just came here, some freely, some had to pay a couple dollars, and they got land. They could, as long as you worked the land, you were allowed to come here. And they just allowed him. Then fast forward to today, they got benefits, they got land, they got money, they access all of our trusts. I mean, they can do whatever they want to do. Okay. But this is something that is now coming out, and people are having an awakening. So again, the Native Americans that you all know as Native means you were born somewhere. You might have been born here recently, but your people sprung from another place. Natural born mean you are from this land. Your ancestors came from this land. Okay. So anytime somebody say they Native Americans, it's true, but they're not the autogenous people, the natural born people that sprung from the soil. Those are the people that were enslaved here in America, enslaved or became indentured slave, sharecroppers, whatever you want to call it, here in America. But they were not originally classified as black. They did not come from slave ships in Africa. Most of us did not. We know that because our ancestors and elders told us that we weren't, and many of us that actually did the tracing ourselves found out that we have always been here. So all I'm saying is we are living in a time of complete and utter confusion, or we have been, where we've been enslaved. They enslaved the peoples here that were the original autogenous people that sprung from the soil, people classified as black or African American, and then they enslaved the Europeans, because the end of slavery here actually did not end slavery. It expanded slavery. The Civil War period, that didn't end slavery with the so-called black people. It expanded slavery. So now they're enslaving all of the Americans, and then they expanded it out to enslave everybody all across the globe. So during this harvest time, though, people are waking up. Okay, this is a harvest season, right? Everybody that's been sowing is now reaping. Those of us that sowed in tears and cried out to the Most High and cried out to our ancestors. I don't care what your skin complexion looked like, your race or your affiliation, your ethnic background, your nationality. We've all cried out to the Most High because we've all been mistreated. We've all been taxed out of wazoo. Everybody, right? All so-called races. We've all had our children to be miseducated, and some of us had our children to be taken from us and kidnapped, and done all kind of nefarious things. We've been manipulated through Hollywood. We've all, by the way, my godson who works for Hollywood said Hollywood is completely dead and he's gotten no work. He's an independent film director. He said, I've gotten no work all year. He said, I don't know what's going on. I had to tell him what was going on. It's over for them. But we've all been victims of the deep state. We cried out to the Most High. Yes, we did. We cried out, and now the Most High, the source, creator, whoever you call them, the ancestors, they have heard our cry. We have sown in tears, and now we are reaping in joy, because during the Feast of Trumpets, Trump again sent that letter to the military. He unleashed them to all these cities, the National Guard, and they're cleaning up the MS-13 gang members, the Venezuelan gang members, the Mexican cartel, the American gang members, the so-called Black American gang members. They cleaning it all up, and I'm happy. Okay, so that happened around September the 25th and the 30th. Then we had the government shutdown on the 30th, which is important because it may not ever resurrect. The government is not the natural, lawful, legal, or lawful republic. The old one had to shut down so we can restore the republic. So they may not ever come back up. If they ever open back up, it will be opened up and announced as the republic. And I kept saying something's going to happen not only during the Feast of Trumpets, but during the harvest season, during the 8 days of the Feast of Harvest, Feast of Booths. Okay. And what happened between the 6th and the 13th is significant, because I said, pay attention to the 13th. And I made an announcement before the 13th. Something huge is going to happen on October 13th, because it's considered the last great day of the feast for we indigenous Hebrew Israelite people. Because I keep it. It's the last day, and it's the last day of the holy season. I said the 13th is not only that, but the 13 number represents peace, power. It represents justice. So that's why they told you to fear 13. I said, but that is what ancient people, ancient civilizations here in America, the so-called Blacks, the indigenous, autochthonous people, we consider 13 to be a very high number, a very strong number, because it represents justice and high manifestation. So the 13th was the last great day of our feast. It was Columbus Day, and it was also Indigenous Peoples Day. I said, President Trump is going to do something huge during the 13th. And what did he do but declare the 13th as a day and a time of peace? Peace. He declared peace in the Middle East and established peace on land, and he established a cabinet of peace. And having said that, I'm done. I know that was a long history lesson, but now we have Chief Mack in the house, family. I also want to thank you all that sent me cash out while I was missing. I appreciate it. If you want to support the work, feel free. That's $ Mama Kia 13, MAKIA 13. And I'm done. I will yield the floor to Chief Mack, the Chief of the Soul Tribe. Hey.
It's been a long time coming, right?
Yes, sir.
It's been a long time coming, Soul Tribe, and we are on deck for this RV to take place, man. It's been a lot of us have gone through so many ups and downs. We've heard at least 4 or 5 times that it's getting ready to happen. It's getting ready to happen, and a lot of us have lost a lot of things. But I'm here to tell you guys that you're going to get that time more, 1,000 times more. The world is changing because a universal reset has happened. Meaning that the world is not in the same position that it was in 3D. It's moved over, it skipped 4D over to 5D. So switch. And in that switch, it's called a universal reset. It's called a worldwide reset. And the things that are about to happen, which is going to get ready to blow your minds, guys. It's getting ready to blow your mind. We are actually moving back to an organic Republican. So when I say an organic Republican, that's a Republican that was first started by the indigenous and autochthonous people of the Americas. When it was started by us. So it's going back to that. The beauty about this is that not only are the indigenous people benefiting, but all people who want to have righteousness in their heart gets the benefit too. We don't mind sharing, but so it's all people who have an opportunity will have an opportunity to benefit from this golden era. Okay. And so what Trump is used as the character to put everything back in his rightful hands of the rightful owners. Okay. And if you really watch the Trump character, he has always liked the indigenous people, even when he was Elvis Presley. Love them some. That's a picture with Elvis Presley with the. I'm gonna pull it up with these young teenagers who had feathers on their head. It's a picture back in the '50s, and they was clearly Indians, but it's just I've been saying for a while it's a beautiful time to be alive because that's what we're moving back to, guys. And this is why I've been saying from day one to get rid of the hate, the envy, the malice, and jealousy in your heart because those who are able to will be the ones that are operating in 5D. And you shouldn't have a reason to be angry, have hostility and chaos in your heart if you know that you're a part of this great reset, this great awakening, man. And so I'm excited about that. America, just so you guys know that America is going back to being a continent. And I've been saying that I was one of the first people before all these so-called content creators are coming out right now. I've been saying this up for years, that America is not a country, it's a continent. And I made a post on my page, what's that, Judah Allen on Facebook. I made a post right here in the state of Indiana. I was leaving last month, I was leaving Indianapolis, Indiana, heading north, heading back to Indiana, Gary. And I had been saying this for a while, and I knew it. I said, let me get a picture so I can invite people in to what America is. And less than 10 miles away from each other, there's a city in Indiana called Morocco. There's also a city in Indiana called Lebanon. Okay? So I took a picture of that so I can let you guys see that because this is the first and original Morocco, Lebanon, Egypt, Kemet, Georgia, all of these other land masses that they're giving names to were here in the United States, in America. And that the United States Corporation, just to elaborate on what you were saying, I'm going to switch to the United States Corporation. The United States Corporation came, so I'm going to take you guys on a journey. The United States Corporation has been in existence for about over 250 years here. And it's up, guys. Which meant that the United States Corporation is not a country, but a bankrupt corporation that's we're dealing with Americans illegally. And so all of the things that Trump is getting rid of is the thing that the United States Corporation established. So he's getting rid of that because the United States Corporation actually is tapping into the resources of the indigenous people estate. And they were bringing other people, allowing other people to come here to benefit off the trust funds accounts of our deceased loved ones. So this is how, when we as a people, we would be a bit angry because we see that everybody was benefiting but us as a people. But that's changing right now. It's changing because the United States Corporation is dissolving itself right now. So the IRS is no longer going to be called the internal revenue. It's going to be called the external revenue. And things are changing up where people are going to be able to not be in bondage like we are in bondage right now, man. There's a lot of bondage going on. Having a job, man, a job means just over broke. And a lot of people have jobs and still not able to make ends meet, And your job is paying you out of your trust fund account, so you're working for free. So there's no one that's highly favored working for someone else who's taking your labor and making 20 times the value that they're paying you to a check like that. You can never become wealthy and really enjoying yourself and your life with your loved ones when you're working for somebody else and giving all of your time to and they're paying you out to a trust fund account, and they claim that they're giving you $1 out of 401k. With that dollar, so-called dollar, is coming out of your own trust account. And when you go to get it, they're going to tax the hell out you, man. That's bondage, man. A job is no, that's complete bondage, man. I don't want that for myself or nobody who I love that's attached to me in a righteous way, guys. So we're moving over from that. So for those of you who want to know, the RV, I, in my belief, in my understanding, we're here, guys, because the things that are transferring to happen right now that didn't happen 4 or 5 months ago has happened now. Trump, he went over to the Middle East, so there's peace in the Middle East for the first time in a long time. So that means that's stabilization. There's stabilization there. Things are stable for them to be their own government right now. Also, Trump said that Iraq had so much oil. He has so much oil that they don't know what to do with it. So that tells me that they have something to finally back their dollar right now, their currency. And that's the first time in a long time. Many of us been waiting for. When this first came out, I believe it's like 2002 or 2003 when the Iraqi dinar was being dispersed, and people thought I had some older buddies of mine. They probably had a bag about $20 million worth of Iraqi dinars, and it was a pink color, whatever, a bag. That was here in the United States, and they was selling it thinking it was going to manifest. And that's been over 23 years ago. It's been over 22 years ago since then. And here we are, 2025. And I'm like, man, how did that happen? Time flies, man.
Yeah.
And we had even then, just since April, May, June, July, and even August, we talk about 5 months, that we thought that maybe 4 or 5 times that the RV was going to happen. And it didn't happen. And it discouraged a lot of us, Dr. Kia. And I get it. It discouraged a lot of us. Get out of here. It discouraged a lot of us. And so, but I'm here to say today that we don't have to be discouraged anymore. So today, that we're going to wake up and rise up and see those that hit that switch. And we're going to cry. We're going to be able to walk on the banks and walk out of there with a lot of zeros behind our names. And we're going to have wealthy people problems. So we're going to set ourselves up in the capacity as far as mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally. Physically, we have the money to be able to work out, exercise, get the best treatments, because we're going to start living longer. Emotionally wise, we got to clean up a lot of clutter and dirt that we've been given by this beast system. Many of us have been abused by this beast system and accepted the ways of this beast system. And we got to clean it up. This is why the rich and the wealthy, most people who made it over there already, didn't deal with people who wasn't rich or wealthy, because they understand that we got a lot of cleaning up to do. We get a lot of mental illnesses from these generational curses. And all people, not just the so-called melanated people, and all people have been beat down with these generational curses on our bloodlines, our family. We got to come in there and we got to clean that up. Emotionally wise, we got to clean it up. Our bodies, our minds, our spirit, our soul. And for a long time, I've been saying, guys, clean it up. Because we're being watched right now. And the reason the earth is changing right now, because we got a new, right now, celestial family that is watching everything that we're doing, including the, if you want to call it the Draconians, the Carnians, the Reptilians, and so forth. They are moving in accordance because they're running underground and hiding, running away, because A force that's coming to the earth is greater than anything they can ever imagine. And that celestial family is bringing balance and bringing righteousness to the earth. So we ought to be rejoicing. We ought to
Yes.
be giving
So right.
praise, honor, and glory to the Creator and the Ancient of Days because salvation, redemption, fairness is being brought to the earth for the first time in a long time, where the common day people who wasn't supposed to even know about this have found out about it and are moving in accordance, guys. I am so happy, honored, and have a huge sense of humility that I was chosen because a lot of people don't even know about this. And if you told them, they can't even accept. They have been beat down so much and so bad. And I'm talking about all races to the point they think that this right here is not true, that it's a scam.
Yeah.
Don't tell me about it because that's not true. There ain't no other way other than working a job and working hard to work my work my shoelaces off, work my health out. There ain't no other way but to spend 4 or 5 or 8 years in college and then go in debt to get a job to pay for the college to pay out of debt. It ain't no other way other than that. And then I'm sorry to my Christian brothers and sisters. They pushed the rapture,
Yeah.
and the rapture didn't happen. They didn't want you guys to participate in this transfer of wealth because you were too scared, thinking
Yeah.
that you know, as above, so below. So if there's riches in heaven, it should be riches on earth. And earth
Can I say
can either
something?
be. Go ahead.
I want to talk about the transfer of wealth because a lot of people are at the edge of their seat,
Yeah.
Chief. They're stressed out, they're worried, people are out of jobs, not just government jobs, but corporate entities. And Ghost, our mother, Susan Price, who's in the chat, by the way. If you want to come on, let me know, mother. I'll send you a link. And who was in the military. She has a site called America Out Loud, a podcast. She and I did a podcast this the other day. And we were talking about how people are just stressed out. But I want to encourage people because I know, money's running out. Some of these benefits or entitlement benefits that people were getting, they're going to be cut back because the old government is closed. But remember, this is the encouragement. We are going into the golden age, and President Trump called this the new golden age on October the 13th when he declared peace in the Middle East. And he said this is the golden age for Israel. Now, when you understand and overstand that Israel is right here in America, due to coding, this is the golden age for Israel, for America, because that state called Israel over there is just a state that was given to them by, the bloodline Rothschild family over there by the Rothschild fraction of the British Crown through the Balfour Agreement. But he called it the dawning of a golden age, the beginning of a golden age. Why is this the dawning of a golden age? Why are we excited about what's going to happen financially? Here's the encouragement. Remember, when President Trump first came back, he created a sovereign wealth fund. Remember that? Go back and look it up, and when you get time, the sovereign wealth fund is a fund that many nations have, especially oil-rich nations already, where they from that fund pay out or give the people in that nation certain benefits. This is how some nations have free healthcare, free education, universal basic income, UBIs, because nations, specifically oil rich nations, but other nations do it too, have wealth. They have oil, they have resources, and they give it back to the people. So in January, as soon as President Trump came in, he created the Sovereign Wealth Fund, and that's comprised of stocks, bonds, real estate, precious metals, rare earth minerals, oil, and all this wealth that from which all of the people will receive complete payoff of debts from the sovereign wealth fund. Then you will receive what's called something like a universal basic income. When you think about that's going to fund NASARA, the National Economic Security and Reformation Act. The sovereign wealth fund is going to fund it. All these trusts that you hear about, the Saint Germain Trust, the Rodriguez Trust, all these trusts. But here in America, the main trust is the sovereign wealth fund. All of those things, again, stocks, bonds, real estate, rare earth minerals, precious metals, oil, the money from the tariffs, when President Trump put tariffs or taxed the other people, the other nations for doing business with us. Remember earlier you heard Chief Mack say we're going to do away with the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, and create the ERS, which is the External Revenue Services, meaning that no longer are we going to tax the people. That's what the old government did. But the Republic doesn't tax people. They tax nations for doing business with us, for trading with us. So the tariffs from the taxes, that's going to be in the sovereign wealth fund. So remember last year or earlier this year, Trump did a big trade agreement deal with China. That was huge because you have the two largest economies in the world now having a trade deal. Trump might have put high tariffs on them, but they came to the table. That forced them to negotiate. The two largest economies in the world now have a trade deal, which forced all the other nations to get on board. So when Trump went to the Middle East and he brokered deals, he brokered trillions of dollars in deals that they gave him. They gifted America with trillions of dollars, and they have to pay taxes to do business with us. He brokered trade deals between us and the Middle East and between each other. By the way, as an aside, Israel got mad, and you can look up an article that said Israel felt left out of Trump's trade deals. Okay. And they fell out because Trump didn't go through Israel. He circumvented or went around the state of Israel and the Rothschild family, and he brokered deals between the Middle East. And so now here we are today, and he has peace in the Middle East. He did that around Israel. Okay. So they gave him planes, they gave him oil, they gave him money, they gave him rare earth minerals. You can look it up. They gave him gems. All that came into the sovereign wealth fund. That sovereign wealth fund is going to pay off all the debts here in America and in Australia, and along with some of the other trusts, and it's going to pay off all the debts all over the world. Okay. Also, that sovereign wealth fund is going to pay off all your debts, and we're going to experience a debt jubilee. This is why the Pope on December the 24th of 2024 opened the Jubilee portals. Look it up. He opened several portals, and one he opened was the eve of Christmas on December 24th. And he called it the Jubilee portals. It was a ritual to let you know we're about to enter the season of Jubilee where all debts will be wiped away. That same day, December 24th, 2024, Zero Hedge came out with an article that said, we're about to experience a debt jubilee in biblical proportions. Are you ready? So all of this is setting the stage for what we're talking about here, the golden era. Another aside is, in order to pay off all the debts, economists have been saying since Trump's first administration, you're going to have to revalue gold between $10,000 an ounce and $100,000 an ounce. People thought it was fun and they laughed because it wasn't even $1,000 at the time. Here we are today, it's above $4,000. The other day it was $4,200. Silver went from, back then it was like maybe $11. It went up to 14, went back to 11 during Trump's first administration. Today is $54. Okay. Wow. So silver and gold are going to keep exploding because in order to pay off the debt, you have to revalue gold. And as somebody said in the comment section, they were saying the dollar is devaluing. The dollar is now only worth 3 cents. Here's a basic economic principle is, as the dollar decreases in value, silver and gold increase in value. So the precious metals are going up in value because, you know, the dollar has decreased and people are rushing to gold and silver. Countries have aligned themselves with the BRICS coalition, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and they are dropping the dollar for trade, and they're using their own local currencies backed by precious metals for gold. This is why banks all over the world, central banks, have accumulated gold in record numbers since Trump's first administration all the way up to now. We are moving to a golden era where we will have gold and silver that will actually serve as money. And this will not only free the planet, but it will pay off all your debts. And soon you are going to receive what looks like a universal basic income or an allotment every single month of a whole lot of money. And I yield the floor. I just wanted to say that people have been calling you and me worried. And you and I both have been talking about how our bank accounts, you know, it seems like whenever
that time, I told you, I said, when that time comes, things are going to be scarce is when it's going to happen. And it's scarce for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. It's going to come out like a thief in the night, an abundance is going to come.
Yes.
So be encouraged, people. And that's why I said we need to consolidate with each other because things are going to happen. Um, I wanted to talk about the trust
Okay.
because the trust is having the trust is going to is how you're going to make sure that when you're gone, that your loved ones, the people who mean something to you, making sure that the wealth is safe. So that's how you make sure that the wealth that you have accumulated for yourself is going to be there for your great great grandchildren, and we're going to have to teach them because
Yes.
we are the new one percenters. I even named a group called the New One Percenters. We are the New One Percenters, meaning that that's
Mm-hmm.
basically 1% of the people who are doing this, operating in this sector. It's 1% of us, guys. So
Oh my
we're
God.
we're going to replace the other ones. But let me break it down to you. See, they're not teaching this in churches. When it said, and I've been saying it for the past 3 years, and the things I've been changing in my life, that the wells of the wicked is laid up for the just. So what is that saying? That's saying that
Mhm.
the wealth that the wicked have accumulated, they stole it.
Yes.
It was stolen from the people, the wealth. So
Mhm.
they've been doing is just storing it up, storing it up, storing it up right now. And as we see the dollar go down, it means that their wealth is going down. When the
Mm.
dollar goes down, their wealth goes down, and everything else increases because the United States corporation pretty much had a monopoly over the whole world currencies, a grip. So that's what that means, that the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. That means that what they have stolen from us is getting ready to come back to the righteous. It also said, the meek shall inherit the entire earth. The entire earth. How are we going to take over the entire earth if they're still in existence? They're running. They're scared. They've been unalive to the point they have to have masked up characters playing presidents right now because a lot of these people are being unalive. Okay?
Right.
So they're being unalive so that we can come in and be the new one percenters to clean up humanity. Because it said that we're going to go from last to first, from the heads, from the tails. We're going to be the, the lenders and not the borrowers, the creditors and not the debtors. What is that saying? We're going to be the bankers. We're going to be banks, guys. We're going to be able to lend in a righteous way. We're going to be the creditors in a righteous way.
Yes.
So this is a biblical proportion. So you really can't wrap your head around it. There are certain people that may be worth over $100 million, and that's an overflow. When you have that amount of wealth in an institution, you don't even have to touch the principal because the amount of profits you're making off that principal and interest, you can live off of. You don't even have to touch that, but you can show that because the banks having that amount of wealth that they're warehousing for you, they're making so much money off of it by through fractionalization that they're going to pay you and yield a high amount of interest off that. It's beautiful. So we have a lot of learning to do. We're learning together. Um, it's just an exciting time to be alive. That's why I've been saying what a beautiful time it is to be alive when you're connected to the right people and source. And so we're all intertwined and we're all connected with each other, man, right now. We're all intertwined, all multi different cultural people. We talk about righteous people, and righteous people have a vibration. And we don't do, and it's color was invented, all that stuff was invented. I've never seen a black or white man. My skin is a beautiful peach cobbler complexion.
Peach
My
cobbler.
skin, I ain't black. My hair is black with a little bit of salt and pepper in it. I take that, but I ain't black, and I ain't never seen a white man walking around here the color of this right here. I've never
Right.
seen that before. This phone, that's black, and that's white, and there are no people that color, but that's a status, and we got to come out of that. We got to come out of those names because it it destroyed our psyche and looking at people the wrong way. You got Africans that come to America that got white on their driver's license.
Mm-hmm.
The darkest people,
Mm-hmm.
and that skin is not dark, it's purple. It's black, it's purple. People so dark over there. But Let's get out of that. Let's get to being righteous. If you're not righteous, if you move it over into this inheritance right there, you're going to be exposed and you're going to end up hurting yourself. There's no need to do it.
Absolutely.
So for those of you who don't have a trust, the trust that I do is the 508C18 irrevocable trust, which is a ministry and a foundation.
Okay.
It is a trust that the uh, nobody has any jurisdiction to tell you what, when, and how to do something. Okay,
Okay.
having the foundational trust means that you can accept gifts and donations and it not be taxed. You can also give out a gift and a donation, and it can be a tax write-off. You can get that back, and this is what the rich and the wealthy have been doing for a long time. You know, and it's legally set you up where they can't tax you because the IRS is they're not gone. They haven't gone anywhere yet. They're trying to hold as long as they can so they can try to get there, stick their hands and steal, some of the wealth that we have. So you want to make sure you have things in place and not needed than to need it and not have things in place, guys.
So how do
So
they contact you, Chief? Let them know if they want
that's
to.
you can put in the comments
There it is.
Unity in Motion 45 at yahoo.com. That's UNITYMOTION, the number 45 at yahoo.com. And there will be a consultation fee because I want to make sure I'm talking to the right people. I don't want to just talking to any and everybody. But you can email me. I'll do other things other than the trust. But that's a particular reason, guys, why
Mm.
many of us, we've never seen the police pull over people driving Rolls Royce and Bentleys. There's a reason why they don't do that. And the reason being is jurisdiction. These people have removed themselves out of the jurisdiction to be bothered by a corporation that's trying to steal from their estate. Because I'm sorry to say, and there's nothing against the police department, the individuals who are loving men and women who works for the police, but a lot of you are getting ready to wake up to who you work for when you find
Hmm.
out that they have brainwashed you guys into robbing and taking from the people.
Yeah, aren't
You
they
know,
they're foreign entity that they
but
run
yeah,
it?
the judge they put money for the queen.
The
They
judge,
don't have
the attorney, not
yeah.
the attorney, yeah, the attorneys, the policy enforcers enforce
The
the
reason
policy
they write
in
yeah
each state.
the reason they write you a ticket is to pull from your estate. The
Hmm.
reason they want to put you in jail because you're going to be paying room and board to be in that jail cell from your state. So this is why they have the indigenous people in there because we're prisoners of war that they're pulling from our states to enrich this whole land. So
Hmm.
when bringing other people over here, they're actually pulling from our deceased loved ones' estate and giving them those wealth. The food stamps, the government assistance, all the other nations are getting that. I was just in Chicago yesterday and I saw the police. They had pulled these young men over asking for their license and said Chicago not playing right now. They're not
Hmm.
playing. I don't wish anything on anybody. I want everybody to have that's enough wealth in this world for everybody to not be starving and have a nice warm place to live.
Hold on,
And
Chief.
that's
You
what
mentioned Chicago. You mentioned Chicago. Brother Jacob Bay says the land deeds to America are in Cook County, Illinois, Chicago. The land deeds to America in Chicago.
did you guys also know that the state of Georgia has can't come out of being a state to a country and been turned over to the indigenous people? Did you know that?
No, no.
The state of Georgia, what I was led to over 30 plus years ago, is the first state in the United States that has gone back to being a country. And
Because
has been,
all the states are countries, according to
because
our.
America is a continent. Georgia is actually the real, that so-called Georgia over there, that's a made-up name. The state of Georgia is actually the country Georgia, and Atlanta is Atlantis.
Hmm.
The Mississippi River is the Euphrates Nile River. I've been saying we have the original Cairo, which is Cairo, Illinois, right in South Illinois. And we have the original Memphis, not Memphis, Gaza, Memphis, Tennessee. They got all kind of ancient artifacts over all of that. I've been saying this stuff for years before all these new content creators, and it's just happy to see that they're talking about it right now. That America is the ancient land because she is the land that rose first from the Great Flood. She came out of the waters first after the Great Flood with the creator had unalive these giants that were destroying humanity and operating the wicked way. They had to flood the earth, and then a lot of it happened through what we call petrification, petrified with these giant animals and entities froze in place, and they put it in movies, and the people take that for entertainment. But this world's a lot deeper than the Bible and the information that they have given us. They put certain pieces in there, but it's a lot. This world would never end. It would never end. There have been many different resets, and we are going through a major one right now where people are not going to believe, and out of the bad that's happened, a lot of good that's getting ready to happen. I am so excited about that. So if you guys want to trust, email me. I can go in greater details about things that I do in terms of get the birth certificate authenticated on the state and federal level, so you can become full faith and credit and have a special number given to you. And those that have done that, that's something good coming your way. When you have gotten that special number and you got it on bond paper connected to your birth certificate, that you're full faith and credit. And once you become full faith and credit, then we can go after the diplomatic passport that makes you a state national or American national, same thing. And that puts you on the do not detain list. And you can utilize that because they're trying to get this real ID or this digital ID that you don't have to get that when you got this right, that 3-star passport that makes you a diplomat. And then there's some other paperwork that ends all contracts unknown to this beast system, that if you got yourself hemmed up and signed some agreements, this paperwork can free you from it. Because through paperwork, they bonded you in hell, and through paperwork, you can gain your soul and you can walk on water again through the paperwork right there. So, for those who want to have that, give me a call so you can have this trust set up, and everything that you have, you want it to be entrusted. Because you don't want to put anything in your all caps name with the social security number attached to it. It's not you, but the straw man that they created, the fictitious you, to be able to gain access to what rightfully belongs to you. So this stuff right here would end all of that, and then you'll be one of those people that'll be able to drive your Rolls Royce, your Lamborghini, your Bentley, and not have to worry about the cops, pulling you over. And unfortunately, to many, they're being defunded for a reason, because the police departments across the land are not attached to any governmental municipality. They're privatized organizations, guys.
And this is why you can look it up and you'll see that police departments all over the country are actually downsizing. Police are being encouraged to retire early or resign. And what's happening is the ones that remain will transfer over to the sheriff department.
The sheriff department, yeah.
The sheriffs are the only ones that are supposed to enforce the law according to our republic, our lawful government. This is how you know the republic is being restored. It's happening right now. But Chief, before you continue, I just want to know if we can answer some of the questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, one of the things people want to know is, do we have any intel on the currencies? The Iraqi dinar, the Indonesian rupiah, the Venezuelan bolivar, the Zimbabwean zim, and I don't know what other, and some of the other currencies that people may have invested in. I can come on, we can do a whole nother video at another time just on news as it relates to currencies. But do you have any information, any encouragement for the Soul Tribe as it relates to those people who have invested in these foreign currencies?
If you have invested in these foreign currencies, you have done yourself you have done a miracle for yourself.
Yes, you have.
And I'll say that much. You have liquid gold on you. And if I heard a story, and I was, if you have any foreign currency, or if you have taken some currency that don't belong to you, and think that you're going to go in the bank and cash it in, you're going to be on the watch list. So if you got anything that don't belong to you, if you got in the unrighteous way and think that you're going to capitalize on it, the new system that we're moving into right now, you're going to have eyes on you. If you got some foreign currency on you, I think about taking something else from somebody else that don't belong to you, If you try to cash it in, you're gonna find yourself in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. So, if for those of you who have got foreign currency, you're gonna want to have a letter of authenticity, something going stated that you purchased that. When you walk in these banks. But if you have it, I'm so proud of you. And that's a lot of people that doubted people called you crazy for having these foreign currencies. That's a lot of people that we tried to turn on to it and just didn't want to do it. But if you have it, you got the equivalent of gold right there in your hand, guys. So things going to change really, really soon because I've been on an emotional roller coaster. I was really in deep prayer last night with another sister who was just having a tough time. And I got on the phone and I spoke that ancient languages. We just prayed together, and I had tears rolling from my eyes. And she said, "Brother, thank you, Sister Phyllis." She said, "Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother." She said, "I feel so strong." And that's what we're supposed to do, guys. We're supposed to build, inspire, motivate, and lift each other. And that's what I do. We give a lot of ourselves. So those of us like Dr. Kia, myself, my dear sisters, Maria Nicole, Mother, you got Frank 26, and just all of the people on the forefront like that. Guys, keep us lifted in prayer. And anything that you can give, Dr. Kia, I love this sister right there. She's
Thank you.
because she's a righteous woman, and we don't have any righteous woman like this that's just so righteous from the heart and pure. We have to protect it. We have to protect her. People like this, women like this, that's going out. Even Maria, just giving the information, and us just keep our sister Maria in prayers because she's been battling some things. Let's lift up our sister Maria Nicole in prayer and keep her lifted and let her know that we care and love her. And even like I said, but all of us let's put this, let's give you guys the information, a financial forecast, a governmental forecast, so that you guys can make an executive decision, guys. It's not easy coming on here live like this because we go through it just like you guys go through it, guys. So anything that you guys, gift Sister Dr. Kia, myself, and the other content creators who are on the front line pushes information. I donated to Frank 26 to the point he's like, who's Chef Mack? It's not Chef Mack. It says Chief Mack. So so Frank 26. I have his number. We'll call. We'll talk.
That's great.
I've given it to our sister Maria Nicole. I've helped her out because I know that we are in the belly of the beast right now, soon to come out. So anything that you guys give, it helps us out, man. It helps us out so that we can be able to give you guys the information to help you guys make that exact decision. Because we get information worldwide because we are attached to a lot of people, which make us very resourceful. So we get the information, we compartmentalize that, we come together at the table, and we give you guys the information right now. I'm so happy you got your page back, Dr. Kim.
Thank you. Me too. I'm so grateful to the creator,
you got you got
President Trump's administration. President Trump's
That is a sign. That's a sign. That is a sign.
Thank you, YouTube. Thank you.
That's a sign. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, somebody had a question. What if you have currency but not a letter of authenticity? Once you go to the Wealth Management Center, some people calling it the Redeem Center, but what I heard was there's a redemption center that's going to be attached to the bank or Wealth Management Center. Yes, I do trust the banks because they had to go through Basel compliances, meaning they had to be transparent. They couldn't trade our money. They couldn't steal. They now are attached to the quantum financial system, all that. So banks met last year globally to ensure that they were ready to receive tier 2 assets, which means they were ready to receive foreign currencies. And the articles, I'll republish that video, states that they had to recognize gold as a tier 1 asset, and then they had to recognize tier 2 assets or foreign currencies, and they met globally to ensure they were ready for currency exchanges, and they need both gold and foreign currencies because they're going to be the ones doing a lot of exchanging for us. And the article said it was in order to keep them from going bankrupt in the case of an economic collapse or economic problem. So if you don't have a certificate of authenticity, when you go to the Wealth Management Center, bank, redemption center, wherever you're going to go, they have a way of authenticating your currency. They have a De La Rue machine, they have UV lights and all type of ways to ensure that your currency is authentic. So that was a great question. Moving forward, if you get currency, most of the online dealers like 100trillions.com, that's 100 trillions, TRILLIONS.com, 100trillions.com, Banknote World, let's see, Safe Dinar is another place. Great American Coin Company. AppMex sells foreign currencies. eBay sells foreign currencies. And eBay usually sells some currencies from these major online dealers. But most online dealers, their currency already comes with a certificate of authenticity. You can get some currency from eBay. Some of those won't have a certificate, but if you look on eBay and you'll see that Banknote World, which is a lawful, illegal certified company, they sell through eBay and they issue out certificate of authenticities, okay, for the currencies you buy. Typically, eBay is cheaper, and this is why some people go from there and they'll look for those major online dealers, or they'll just go out on a limb and get it from eBay. Etsy sells some currency. I can't vouch for them, but I know they do. Amazon even sells some currencies. Some of your local coin shops and coin dealers have sell currencies, and pawn shops sell currencies. So the reason why you would want to get currencies, for those who are new here and don't overstand, is because what made the dollar the world reserve currency is that we had an agreement with Saudi Arabia to get gold from their country, and we would protect the Saudi kingdom in exchange. I'm not gold, but oil. What made the dollar the world reserve currency was our agreement with Saudi Arabia. We'll protect their kingdom in exchange for their oil. We'll force all nations to get oil from Saudi Arabia using the dollar. Okay, that's what made the United States Incorporated have dollar dominance, have financial economic hegemony. If those nations didn't abide by that rule, or they wanted to use gold or their own currency, we would declare war against those nations. We'll kill our leaders. Not we, but the United States Incorporated would kill their leaders, send the military over there, declare war, fund both sides of the nations of those wars, and then their currencies would devalue. That's how we punish them, through war or sanctions. You don't want to play along with the United States Incorporated. You don't want to use our dollar. You don't want to you go by our trade deal. We'll declare war against you. Okay. When they did that, their currency would devalue. And some of those countries' currencies did way better than the United States. Like Kuwait in the 90s, they were like $3.50 above the USD. You send a war, you fund both sides of the war, they decimate the economy, the GDP goes down, and that their currency goes down in value. And then the people in the know, though, like people high up in the military, corporate leaders, government officials, they would buy those countries' currencies that have been devalued through war or sanction like Venezuela, sanctioned like Zimbabwe. So that's why people are investing in their currencies now. Sanctioned like Iran, Iraq, etc. They will buy those countries' current currencies that have been devalued through war or sanction, hold on to them, wait until after the war. Then after the whole infrastructure was demolished through war, America would go back into those countries, rebuild the infrastructure, okay, help them restore their economy. Then their currency would go back up or be reinstated back to its lawful value, which was way higher than what it was when it was decimated through war. Some of those currencies that were $3 above the USD, after war, it would come down to pennies compared to the United States dollar. So everybody in the know would buy up those currencies, wait till they revalue, wait till we went and rebuilt the infrastructure of those nations, go to the banks, and they became millionaires and billionaires overnight. Now, a lot of people think, oh, Elon Musk is the richest person in the world, but I'm not saying he did it, but how you think some of those people became billionaires? Okay, some of them stole from our trust. Some of them came over here with money. Some of them also participated in Iraqi dinar or the Kuwaiti dinar revaluation. But there are people that are richer than Elon Musk. They have trust, okay? Their family made decisions hundreds of years ago, put money in a trust and accumulated interest over time hundreds of years ago. You have billionaires and trillionaires right now that the family trust has, and that's what the family office is. It is the trust that is controlled by the whole family. It's a family office, it's a trust or that funds the families for hundreds and thousands of years. I'm going to bring somebody on that will talk about that. But these people became wealthy A lot of us didn't know that you can buy Iraqi dinar, you can buy Venezuelan bolivar, any of those countries' currencies that have been devalued through war. But after the war, after everything is over, after peace has been declared, like it's been declared in the Middle East, after those countries have been restructured and the infrastructure have been built up, I want you to pay attention now that you know this. Look and see, has Iraq's infrastructure been built up? Yes. Has some of these countries been, their infrastructure been rebuilt? Yes. Have trade agreements been rebuilt? Yes. All of that is an indication that their currencies have been revalued. But the
Yeah.
creator wanted us to know now. This is how you know. This is why I'm speaking and some of the other podcasters are speaking, because the creator let us know so we can let you know this is how you can get on the greatest wealth transfer in the whole world, in this whole era, just by holding those currencies. Because now that the war is over, now that through Project Sandman, that's something a lot of people don't know, a secret agreement that was reached between 209 nations that they would have peace. Trump is doing what they already told him they were going to do. Years ago, we've been talking about Project Sandman agreement between 209 nations that when triggered, they will all stop trading with the dollar and they will use their own local currency for trade. And they all agreed to peace. They agreed to trade together and they agreed to peace. That's what we see happening right now. Once that happens, they reinstate their country currencies back to its lawful value. How else can they trade with America unless their currencies have been revalued? Somebody asked if the currency been revalued. It's been reinstated and revalued, put back to its place before war and sanction, and revalued based on the gold and the resources and the rare earth mineral and the oil that each country has. Okay, how else can you have peace in the Middle East? And how could Trump have brokered trade deals between those nations, us in the Middle East, and the nations, all the Middle East nations together? How could he have brokered trade deals between us and China? How could there be? How could Africa? How could they have kicked out the colonizers? How come Chad, Niger, Senegal, and all those nations that were controlled by the French? How were they able to kick them out? They kicked them out because they had backing by Russia's military and America and the support of the world and Project Salmon secret agreement. And they were able to say, we're foreign. I mean, we're not foreign, we're sovereign now. And they already reinstated their country's currency behind the scenes back to its pre-war, or pre-colonized value. All of this was able to happen that you see happening with these trade deals, kicking out colonists, Africans, now coming together to establish a one African union and talking about one currency and one economy. And America now aligning with, somebody put in the comments, Australia, New Zealand, and some of these other places, because we've already agreed to peace. We already have peace treaties. We already reinstated our countries back to its lawful value and revalued it based on the resources that we have. Okay, we have more oil here in America than they do Saudi Arabia. We have lots of gold and precious metals and rare earth minerals. And 2 years ago, 2.34 billion metric tons of rare earth minerals was discovered in Wyoming. Several months ago, I reported about how Jim Rickards, who's a major economist and who used to advise the White House, said that you have gold. Not only, we already know there was gold around the Grand Canyon, but you have gold and oil and a lot of resources in Texas and in the Western Hemisphere, with Utah, what else? Nevada, California. You got all that, but it was controlled by the government. The government would not allow us to access all that wealth. Well, when the Chevron doctrine was overturned by the Supreme Court and that therefore the Supreme Court of the United States, the SCOTUS, the Supreme Court of the United States, overturned the Chevron doctrine. They were saying that the government no longer can control the rare earth minerals. They can't control you. They can't control me. They can't control the wealth. They can't control the monetary system. And this is why the Supreme Court of the United States also determined that the Federal Reserve Board, that is the monetary system attached to the United States Incorporated, was also unlawful. And as such, the Supreme Court of the United States said state-sponsored banks can now operate independently from the Federal Reserve central banking system and issue out their own gold-backed currency. At the same time, since 2011, you saw state after state in America repealed the state sales taxes from the sales of precious metals, which means that they were saying you can't treat precious metals as something that as a collectible. Now they reclaim silver and gold as money in order to align with the Constitution for our republic. So much is happening, family. I just want you to stay encouraged. And yes, you can. I feel confident in the banks. I feel confident that you can trade. You can get a good rate on your currencies based on the fact that all these countries now have control of their own resources. And I'll stop. I know I get long-winded. I apologize for that. But Chief, some people had some comments they wanted to say to you and have you to address. Is that okay?
It's okay.
Oh, somebody said Trump posted about med beds recently.
Yeah, I saw that.
They removed the Department of War because that was the same name of the department when we were a republic. It was called the Department of War. I did hear him say that. Somebody says gold is up. What would you say to people that say they can't afford gold, though? Gold is up because the dollar's fading. What should they?
Don't worry about that. It's not the only one. You get some foreign. They got currency out there for let us $9, guys. Come on, man. You know, it's simple. They have made every and any kind of way to get in from low end to the high end. Gold being the high end, you know. But you can get some foreign currency. You can spend $50, man, and become almost a millionaire with $50. Come on, man. They giving it. They just practically giving you a way out. So that's no way to be nervous. You get $50, you know, rack of dinar. I mean, the Vietnamese dong. $50 would give you shy of $1 million, man. Come on.
Vietnamese donks as 68 would give you a whole million. Yep, 68.
Yeah, come on, now, guys. So that way, don't worry about. Don't get caught up in gold. And then if you want a precious metal, get silver. Even though it's the highest it's ever been, $50 is no money for those who have a little something. Just $54. I got silver. Rather, it was about $30. And so. But right now, everything is shooting up. It's just an amazing time. We're seeing things happen in real time. So just, there's a way, if you don't have anything right now, to be calling one of these dealers. I have Williams' number with banknote where I get mine from. Call them, I'll speak to them in person. But call them up and get you some currency, guys. If you don't have any, get some.
Or just go online and get it. Get it on from online.
Go online.
Chief, listen to this. New North American Republic is being formed. Canada, Mexico, Australia, Greenland, and possibly New Zealand and Scotland, all as sovereign nations. So that's the new American Republic. That's awesome.
I saw that.
You saw that?
Yeah.
What about crypto? There was just a crypto crash recently.
It happened. When it happened, of course, I'm attached to a lot of different people. People start panicking. We shouldn't be panicking because as soon as it crashed, I said, guys, that's a scare tactic to try to get pull any wealth from people that has it to start selling. And so it crashed, it rebounded in less than 2 hours. So guys, don't let that stuff get to you, man. Even if it crashes, you sit still, man. Sit still, man.
Chief, Sinbad, one of our soul members said, my car is gone, my rent is due next month. Right now, it all continues. And I saw an earlier text where he was saying, Sinbad is saying they're losing everything.
Sinbad, be encouraged, brother. Be encouraged, brother. If you got any foreign currencies, hold it so tight and dear to you, brother. Because all that, if anybody have lost and that you have lost, you're going to receive that 1,000 times more, and you're going to be happy, brother. So rejoice. Because you may have lost right now, but you're going to gain that back times 1,000 more. If you hold on to any type of commodity, whether it's any precious metal, any foreign currency, any type of digital access, you're going to be super excited and happy, brother. And I want to be able to, pop a bottle with you. We may, whatever it may be, and smile and cry, brother, and shake hands and say, welcome to the new 1%ers. You're going to be okay, brother.
That was great encouragement. And maybe you can drop your Cash App in the comment section if somebody wants to donate something to you. Then we hope, somebody can do that.
Go ahead.
Jacob Bay says tariffs are tributes tributes are taxes that the American indigenous people were paying to the Crown of England. Now, the tribute or taxes will be paid back to us, the indigenous people, or the April 14, 1828 definition of Americans. The 1828 Webster's definition of American is the copper colored races discovered here by Christopher Columbus. So now the tribute will be paid to us, all of us here in the Americas. Thank you, Brother Jacob Bay.
Exactly, and the Christopher Columbus was a melanated Moor as well. He wasn't white; he was a melanated Moor. For those who want to know, so that's true.
We love you too, Sunshine Gold says, I love you both so much.
Thank you, Sunshine.
And we're all part of the new 1% family.
No
Here's a
doubt.
question. It will be the UBI you will have to buy and how much they say that you can have. I don't think you have to buy how much they say you can have though. It violates that the will. No, the whole if you violate them and they'll cut you off, that was under the old regime. That won't be allowed now. They're not going to cut you off. In fact, you're
Exactly.
probably thinking of the
Exactly.
CBDC, which was the currency they wanted you to use, or the coin that everybody they were trying to get the whole world to use. And if you didn't do whatever they said, they would just cut off your coin. But all states, or most of the states, as of the beginning of this year, probably all states by now actually ruled central bank digital currencies as unlawful and treasonous here in the Americas. So that won't happen now. So I want you to
So
stay encouraged.
the reason they said that, Dr. Kip, there was somebody on another content creator podcast who was saying that they were going to do that. That's not true, guys. So don't worry about that.
Oh, that's what's going on. The large Jacob Bay says the largest Egyptian museum in America is also in Cook County, Illinois. I always wondered, he said, which is next to Morocco, Indiana. I always wondered why there was so much crime. I kept saying there must be something special about Chicago, so much crime. I thought it was maybe a special bloodline. I didn't know that we had so much
Yes.
history there.
Lake Michigan, there are megalithic structures underneath these lakes because these lakes were created thousands of years ago. The sand dunes, because Indiana is a sand dune. I've made videos of the Miller Beach in Indiana, and the sand is not organic. Sand comes from being cut down these giant trees, and that's the dust from these giant megalithic trees. It's the sand that's spread out. And underneath all these Lake Ontario, Lake Erie, Lake Michigan, you go deep under that, you'll see that America is the ancient land because they got things hidden under these lakes.
Thank you, Chief. Yeah, and on your page, you show a lot of things that that's people can't see with their eye. They don't know what it is. A lot of these ancient buildings and a lot of these petrified structures. But you show that on your YouTube page. What is it? Judah
Yeah.
Allen. Judah Allen.
My Facebook page is Judah Allen, and guys, follow me there, and also follow me because I'm doing a lot of lives on my YouTube channel, which is Chief Mack. Go there and subscribe, guys, because I'm gonna be going out there showing you guys some things. That America is the Holy Land, that this is the land, and a lot of other things. And my content is hands on. I'm hands on. I'm here. I'm there, showing you guys things that they have lied to us about what America is. Switching things up, so it's refreshing that I'm hands on with things. So you go there and subscribe. Go ahead and say hi to me, who you are, and comment like that. Subscribe to Chief Mack, my YouTube page, guys.
Here it is. Here it is, family. Can they see it? I'm not on that screen. Yep, Chief Mack right there, and I'll put it in the description box. I'm so happy I can post in the description box now because I was being so censored that even on StreamYard I couldn't post comments. I couldn't go live. But God is so good and so gracious. Now I can do all those things, which is a sign, Chief Mack says, that we are indeed free.
Yeah, there's a release happening right now.
So they're asking again, where can they contact you?
If you can put that in the comments, Dr. Kid, that's a Unity in Motion 45 at yahoo.com.
Okay, hold on.
I'm so excited, man, because we going to school all over again. We're gonna learn how to operate and trust, how to operate with all this wealth we're having. We gotta make sure it's gonna be protected. You want to have that trust. The Rockefeller trust, which is the 508 C1A irrevocable trust, which is I get a foreign EIN number, which is a 98 number to go along with that. But we're gonna have to learn all these things together, guys. It's beautiful, man. We're going to come together. We are the new family, the new one percenters. We're going to come together and rub arms together, do our humanitarian projects together, our nonprofits together, the foundation together. Some of us, when I put together this event, and those of you who are attached to me in the righteous way will be invited. You don't want to miss it, man. It's going to be
You
really
don't want
nice.
to miss it.
Dr. Kia, myself, Maria,
Yes, I have Zelle.
different
Yes.
content creators are going to be there. We're going to be dressed to the nine. You're going to be rolled up in our Bentleys, Rolls Royce, Land Rovers, man, Lamborghinis. And don't be afraid to live on your high horse because we deserve it.
Mm,
So it should be a month and a half or
we
two after the
deserve it.
RV. I'm going to put that together at a very prominent, beautiful venue in Atlanta. We're going to have it, man. We're going to eat good. We're gonna listen to some good music. We're gonna drink a little something, and then we're gonna roll our sleeves up. And we're gonna network together as the new one percenters, guys. You won't miss it. You want to be one of those persons to be on that list. You operate righteously, man. I'll reach out to you.
Somebody's asked me if I have Zelle. Yes, I do have Zelle. I think when you go to Zelle, attached to your bank account, it'll have my name, Kia Pruitt. I'm the one with, and I have a 502 number. If it doesn't pop up, you can email me at kiapruitt@gmail.com, and I'll give you my number so you can do that. So you can, if you desire to give that way. And I thank you so much for all of your gifts. Somebody also asked me if I have PayPal. Yes, and here's my PayPal link. I think that's it. Yep, paypal.me/Kia Pruitt. Um, and while I'm speaking about it, somebody said something about PayPal. Hold on.
Yeah,
One,
I saw somebody text me that. They text me that
what are they saying about PayPal? Hold on, let me see if I can find.
a trillion something, some
Oh,
trillion
here
they
you
connect.
go. Anthony says, Dr. Kia, PayPal created 300 trillion in altcoins, and it was announced the United States has 261 million ounces in gold on the books. Wow. And while we're at it, Chief, I just want to thank everybody who has sent me a gift. Thank you so much via Cash App. Let's see. And some of you all sent me gifts on my Cash App gifts on my birthday, which was October 1st. Thank you so much. Let me see. I want to acknowledge you because you don't have to do this. I appreciate you, and I'm very, very grateful. Sister Carol Punter, thank you for the gift. Thank you so much. Cheryl Blocker sent me. She says, much gratitude. Thank you so much. Estrelita Stanfield, thank you for the generous gift. I appreciate you. My son Dexter sent the gift. Thank you so much. Chief Mack sent me several gifts from from not just from October 1st until now, but also while I was away because he knew I needed to, money to live. So thank you, Chief Mack. Sister Sheila Wallace, thank you so much for giving me a Cash App gift. Exodus Williams blessed me. Thank you. Todd Chesney sent me a beautiful gift. Wow, thank you so much, Todd. I appreciate you. Ishmael, you are a consistent contributor to the Dr. Kia Pruitt Show. Thank you. Simply Love, just look at all the love I'm getting. Chief Mac, Deborah Allen, Sister Sheila Perkins, Angela McFarland, Neil Embry, um, Max, Beautiful Max Ministries, which is Chief Mac, Kimberly Williams, Aranda Jennings. Who else? Thank you so much. Sister Deborah Allen, Sister Sharon Davis sent me a Cash App blessing. And that is my Cash App, $ MAMAKIA 13, if you want to financially contribute so I can continue this work. But I also appreciate your prayers and your support just being here on this channel. Sister Tia Lyrie bless me. Abraham Henderson, my sister Niteria Holly, Brother Michael George contribute to me. Thank you. Brother Dennis Perkins, thank you so much. My son Dexter again. Uh, who else? Um, Angela McFarland. I'm almost done, family. Who else? Thank you all so much. Angelo, bless me. Angelo Emeriskery. Thank you so much. I appreciate your generous gifts. Tia Baker, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm almost done. Lindsay, thank you. Lindsay sent $100. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. God bless you. Have a smile on you. Sister Maria said, "This is a gift from me to you." Wow, what a generous gift. Thank you. My son Dexter again. My sons do. They bless me, and my daughter send contributions to me, and I appreciate that. Um, Brahmachadri Bridges says, "Thank you, beautiful, enlightened soul sister." You're welcome. Michael George says, "Thank you." I'm almost done. Norma Salazar, I appreciate you. Angela McFarland again. My sister Sheree. Oh my God, my sister Niteria again. Thank you all so very much for contributing to my program and for helping me, because I tell you what, it's a lot of work. As you all know, I don't just say stuff. I don't. I research it, I fact check it, I triangulate, which means I have at least 3 sources to support my claim. I leave those articles in the comment section for you to read in the description box. I answer questions. I do have a membership group, which is a private group where we go in depth on investments. We go in depth talking about trust. If you are interested, you don't have to join because we do give a lot of information to the Soul Tribe. This is my private group here, but I spend hours and hours of my day, and this is because this is my joy, giving to information to the Soul Tribe here. That's the membership if you want to join the membership, but it's also in the comment section, and to you all across all my social media. Even when they demonetize me, I've been demonetized for more than 3 months. I still consistently post. Even when I wasn't allowed to go live on YouTube and they wouldn't allow me to post anything, any comments, any videos, anything in a comment section, I posted on Facebook, I posted on Instagram, I posted on Twitter, because I need you to get this information. This is my calling. This is my mission. This is why I was chosen. This is why I chose to come here, to awaken humanity. When my pastor asked me years ago, "What is your mission?" I said, "My mission is to liberate humanity." And I said it with my head down because I didn't know how people would receive it. And he asked me, "Why are you shy about saying that? Why is your head down?" That's a tremendous mission. He said, "You were concerned about what I would think as your covering, as your head, about you saying God sent you here to liberate humanity." I said, "Yes." He said, "Don't ever be ashamed about your calling, about your purpose, about your mission." So I want to say the same thing to you all. You all chose to be here during this time. We're going through a lot. We've been enslaved. We're tired. We're going through trouble, losing family members since that thing that shut down the whole world. But we chose to come here to support each other, to uplift humanity, and to raise the vibrations or the frequencies of this planet. Because once everybody woke up, and once everybody said, "I'm tired of being enslaved," that's when the ancestors came. That's when the Most High sent help. That's when most people got on their platforms and started, working in their purpose. We're not the only ones that have a purpose. Chief Mack purpose is to continue to encourage you and get you physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially ready by teaching you how to create a trust, how to create a meal plan. Some of you have gifts in music. Your music will raise the vibration of the planet because it won't be talking about sex and drugs. It will be talking about things that will keep us positive. Some of you are artists, writers, you're going to be your gardeners and farmers. Some of you know how to make clothes and fix shoes. All of your gifts now, family, you can start schools. You're going to be able to implement and use in this new reality, because the old school systems, the Department of Education that was attached to the fake folk government, guess what? It doesn't have funding anymore. You're going to need to open up schools. The banks, a lot of banks have closed. We're not now only going to have wealth management systems, centers. You can be the family bank for your family, for your tribe, and Chief Mack can help you with the trust. I'm the one. I'm Big Mama. I am the bank for my family. I don't even have a lot of money, but I have wisdom. But when our gold and silver revalues, and we go to the bank and our currencies revalue, we will be wealthy. Okay, whatever gift you have right now, cultivate it, because you're going to be using it. All these corporations that were controlled by bloodline families and reptilians and draconians, those corporations are closing. That's why people are losing their jobs. You're going to be the mom and
Yep.
pop stores. You're going to be the interior designer. You're going to be the farmer. Go ahead, Chief. I'll be quiet so that you can speak
No,
more.
I'm agreeing with you. So this is why I said
Thank you.
we got to make that switch in our minds and our head because of what's getting ready to happen. It's going to be so, guys. Listen, any Sister Carol, I appreciate the donation. I want to give you a shout out. Any donation, for
What's your
those of
cash app?
you, it's $ Allen Judah 47
Okay, hold on.
ALLENJUDAH 47 Allen Judah 47. Any
Anybody
little
that wants
small
to
thing,
donate? Huh?
yeah, anything helps out, guys, for us putting out this information. We want to be able to put this information out without having the worries and stress. Because if
That's
people are
right.
worried and stressed, you don't feel like coming on here doing a live and talking to people, giving them a financial forecast. So any
Thank
little
you,
thing like
Marquita.
that,
Excuse me.
anything
Thank
like
you,
that,
Marquitas. Thank you, Marquitas Johnson, for being a new member. And thank you to those that are given to Chief Mack. If you want to bless him with an offering, excuse me. Where was it? It is, would you say Allen Judah? Allen Judah for $ Allen Judah 47.
47. Yeah,
Yes.
47. And guys, I'm so happy and excited because
I
I've been
bet.
able to help people. I've been able to help out a lot of people who were connected to me, been able to gift them with some finances to go and get their own foreign currency. So it's just not about me. I've been able to, through people getting trust in other things from me and gifting me, I've been able to take that and gift and help out other content creators and help them out. So I'm not a selfish person. I'm a loving, caring person. Because what I get, I share and I help. I've done some things for my family that they're going to be blown away when they find out what I've done for my family. It's attached to me. So I'm a righteous guy, and it's just not about me winning. It's about seeing those around me being able to win with me. So
That's right.
thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I also want to thank Sister Theola. Listen,
Hey,
V, good
Tiella.
morning.
What's going on, Tiella? That's my girl there
And
now.
Tayonda, thank you, says gratitude and appreciation. Sister Theola says, thank you, I sure missed you. Thank you, I missed you too.
I want to say, Sister
Sister
Tabitha,
Carol, hold on, Sister Carol, Sister Cheryl, thank you so much. Go ahead, brother. What are you going to say?
yeah, Tabitha, Cool Ray. That's a lot of. I'm gonna get these names out because I want to get people some shots out that really keep me lifted up and just really say how I've been met some cool, incredible people of all races, man. And
I love
when you got
that.
a white young man calling you brother, that's all good. And saying people you just meet on the phone can say that I love you because they know you by the fruits of the spirit. So if you
That's
know anything
right.
about the fruits of the spirits, the brother I talked to yesterday for the first time I ever talked to him on the phone and meet him, and we had a nice conversation on the phone. The young white guy, he's 41, and he said, brother, I love you. That's a beautiful
I
thing.
love that. It is.
That's a
I love
beautiful
the
thing.
unity. I love the unity,
Yeah, yeah,
in this new era. Everybody's just, all we know is that we love each other, that we're all one family, that they tried to divide and they were successful and
yeah.
on a
One
large
family in
scale.
frequency. One family in
I
frequency. We got
love
the
that.
same light flowing from us.
So, Chief, somebody asked, Virginia says, do we need to have our humanitarian project with us ready when we go to the banks to exchange our currencies? I'm not sure, but maybe you should take at least an outline just in case they ask you if you want to have if you have humanitarian projects. By the way, humanitarian projects are those projects or programs or something that you are putting together to help humanity. Like for me, and I told Gold Star Mother Susan Price this, who helped many of you with your humanitarian projects. I'm going to repost the videos that she did talking about humanitarian projects. I told her that my family members, not I personally, but my family members on my dad's side struggled with drug addictions. My father died from complications of being an addict, and some of my uncles and aunts. It was during the heroin, right before the crack epidemic was the heroin epidemic. All it takes is for you to take one hit or try one time, and
Wow.
then your brain creates. And I learned this because I have a PhD in psychology and counseling education, and I have a master's in counseling education. I was a drug rehab addictions counselor at one point, but it was too much for me because I have history with my family, and then dealing with people on drugs. It was so hard because what happens is once you take a hit, your brain starts to create what they call these pockets or create areas for the drug where it has to now have the drug in order for you to function. So it's crazy. Your body just now needs it. And then there are certain bloodlines that they created the drug to do a certain things to everybody, but certain bloodlines, I don't know how to say it, but your body, the way how do you say it, Chief? Where if certain people take these drugs, they're hooked for life, and they know your genetic code. They know how to create a drug that will get you hooked. And so,
They call it drugs, guys, but this is a an ancient demonic weaponry that they sensationalize and call it drugs. And this has been created by the entities in skin suits.
hmm,
And they watch people and they test people out that are in these hospitals, so-called the 13th floors, or in prison when you don't have family members. They test these drugs out. They test these drugs out on people to see
hmm,
how they to see how they're going to respond. Remember
hmm,
that case, and there was a case that happened in Florida, where this so-called black guy was riding on the bike and he jumped.
oh,
He was naked, and he attacked this homeless guy, and they said he was eating the guy's face off. When the police had to put like 4 or 5 rounds in him, and they didn't even take him down immediately because he growled at the police like a beast because he wasn't himself, because the drugs actually opens you up to a world that you cannot handle with a carnal mindset. It opens you up so that these disembodied spirits can walk into you. And that's what these drugs do. They open you up to these a wormhole up for these entities that come in into your subconscious, your pineal gland, and sit you down and take you down to the second place and drive you like a remote control
mm.
because your
And this
brain
is
is a computer. And that's
that's
what's
why I
happening.
want that. Thank you, Chief. That's why I want one of my main humanitarian projects to be to help people on drugs. Speaking on that, Brother Joe Oregon Bubble says, I got off heroin after 5 years. Oh, congratulations. I'm so happy for you. I know what heroin does to you. Now that's my dad died from the complications. It destroyed his liver and other organs, and all his organs shut down one by one. And because of his addiction, he wasn't around. I mean, I got to see him, but in order to see him, I would have to go to 49th and Kinsman. For anybody that's in Cleveland, that's where I was born and raised, and look under like cardboard boxes. That's where homeless people used to sleep in, or drug houses. And I got married at 18. So my husband, I'm a teenager. My husband's 20, but all my teen years and 20s and 30s or whatever, we would go to the drug house or to the cardboard boxes and, see needles and people go through the projects and 48 Ninth and Kinsman, everybody shooting and stuff, just so I can see my daddy. Or I
Wow.
would go to prisons just so I could see my daddy. Or he'd come home to my grandma's house, high and hungry, when he would have clarity. And he was a vegan. He had a presence of mind to be a vegan, but he couldn't kick drugs. And he was a runner. He had the presence of mind to keep his body fit as much. And he was a Muslim. To pray, he would fast. He's the one, he and my mom taught me how to fast. Do all those things, but he couldn't shake drugs. He was on drugs since he was 17. So I
Wow.
applaud
Wow.
you, Brother Joe. God bless you for being able to get off. Somebody says drug means dragon. Thank you, Michael George. I appreciate that. Oh, look at this, Chief. S. Coop says 7 years off opiates for me. I never felt better. Ooh, I'm so
Awesome.
happy. Chief, my time is running out here because I am in the library, but I would love for you to give final words and a song or a prayer, anything that you think would help us as we um, end this live.
Well, I was just say, yeah, the soul tribe family, our redemption is near, our inheritance is near, that our abundance is near. There's a time given to happen in this world that hadn't happened in over 200 years, guys. It's given to
Mm,
come. So let's be grateful. Let's start giving our praise, honor, and glory because it is done.
Mm.
And become the victor over being the victim, guys. Start crying and rejoicing because our inheritance is near. And I started operating because of the love, honor, and respect that we've
Mm.
been having and this having right there, it has caused the shift to happen because they never wanted us to find out about this right there, guys, but we found out about it. They never wanted the regular accommodate people, those of us that tapped in, to find out what's going on and to be able to, all it takes is just 1% of us to change the world.
That's it.
That's all it takes. So I'm being encouraged, guys. The donations, the gifts, those who have got trust from me, those who have called me, donated. We love you with actions. We appreciate you, and we'll see you on the other side of abundance.
And tell them one more time where to contact you because some people are saying they contacted you earlier and they're waiting for a reply. What should they do if they are waiting, and how can they contact you for the new
Well,
ones?
just continue to, you can just several different ways. Just I see some people have connected to me through my YouTube. Again, there's Unity. My email address is Unity in Motion 45 at yahoo.com. That's UNITYINMOTION, the number 45 at yahoo.com. And that's just talk. I'm a very resourceful man, not the smartest man, but I'm a pretty intelligent man. And I can explain to you things that you can do on how to make an executive decision on what to do during this wealth transfer.
Perfect, Chief. And if they want to, somebody else asked how to give to, if they want to give a donation, because they said they're calling us the dynamic duo. You can send him a cash app at $ Allen Judah 47, and he would be extremely grateful. I want to read this last comment because it really touched my heart. Who is this? Riza says, my son was delivered from a 17-year addiction from fentanyl. This is going to make me cry because I know what this does to the people. From fentanyl, meth, and heroin, gambling addiction. He had demons. He ended up on the streets of Sacramento because of a praying, believing mama. He's saved now and he's making 120,000 a year. He's a
Glory.
Bible believer.
Awesome.
Praise God. This is awesome. This is why I love our tribe because we are encouraging each other and lifting each other up. I love you all so much, family. I love the testimonies. God is good. Your prayers do avail. God does hear that the prayers of the righteous availeth
Of
much
the righteous.
of the righteous. Abraham Henderson, thank you so much for sending me a gift. He says, great intel on the lives today. Feathers up. I appreciate you.
Feathers
So,
up.
feathers up. So, we thank you all so much for joining us. We'll be on soon. Brother Anthony says, amen. About for the thank you, Brother Anthony. You're such a big supporter. He appreciated the testimony. But we'll be back on soon. We want to keep everybody uplifted. We thank you all. We love you so much. You've heard from Chief Mack. My name is Dr. Kia Pruitt. Get you some foreign currencies. Go to 100trillions.com, safedinar.com. What else? Uh,
Bank no world.
Banknote World, yes, or just type it in online, eBay, even Amazon, all places. But you get some because some of these dealers are running out of currencies. They're going to take them off the street. Okay, I did a video a while ago that says there are more Iraqi dinar in the homes of people than in the banks now because people are waking up. Okay, so get you some foreign currency, get you some silver and gold if you can afford it. Gold is $4,200 an ounce, but you can get gold Arum notes. That's 14 no 24 karat gold pressed onto a note. Okay, you can use it for buying local goods and services. Now most states like Florida, Texas, but all over, they just haven't made announcements, but Florida and Texas have. They're all now saying you can use silver and gold for local goods and services. Contact our affiliate at Miles Franklin and 952-929-7006. If you don't know where to go or if your local dealer doesn't have it, let them know that Dr. Kia Pruitt sent you. That's 952-929-7006, or email him at info@milesfranklin.com. Get you some silver and gold. Let them know Dr. Kia sent you. You're going to get a better price and you're going to get swift delivery, which he's good to everybody. Okay. Excellent customer service, been in business for going towards 40 years now. But your local dealer will have silver and gold. It just won't be as low as what you can get from a dealer. Okay. Use our code, say use Dr. Kia Pruitt sent you, and you'll get a great price. Um, any final words? You gave us final words already, Chief, but I'm about to close out now. Any
Also,
last?
reach out to me if you want to get the intel on getting your trust established and other things in terms of moving to the private. Everybody, and you should be, everybody that's going to move over into this wealth transfer, you're going to find out you're going to need to move over to the private.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, people are testifying about getting over their drug addictions. Oh, that's beautiful. Sister Brenda was addicted to heroin, meth, fentanyl, but now free. 50 years
Wow.
from that mess. Whew.
Wow.
Thank you. You guys are amazing. I love you so much. You've heard from Chief Mack, the chief of the Soul Tribe, and Dr. Kia Pruitt, the Soul Mama of the Soul Tribe. And we thank you all for being here. We have 1,500 people in the chat, and we didn't even make a large announcement. So we want to thank you all so much for being here. We trust. My name is Dr. Kia Pruitt, and I trust that I've said something, and Chief has said something to raise your vibrations and inspire you to create the most amazing, magnificent life that you desire and deserve. Go out and make this a great day. We'll see you on the other side. I'll call you later, Chief. I love you.
Love you too now.
We love you, Soul Tribe. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Dr. Kia Pruitt, shining wisdom's light, teaching soul tribe how to see through the night. Ancient scriptures and bloodlines she knows, spreading truth wherever she goes. Soul tribe rising, hear her call, raising vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia shows the way to a brighter, freer day.
I had to interrupt because we see Empress Rare Bird in the house. Empress, oh my God, my time is up. She's Sharon Die. We have to get together. I was just thinking about you. Empress Rare Bird, please send me an email at kiapruitt@gmail.com or contact Rod Hayes. Let's get together. I'll send you my personal number. Empress Rare Bird can give us information about, our republic being restored, what she has done, the work she and Chief Rod Hayes has done to push this along to bring our republic back in. Chief Rare Bird, I wish if you have a few minutes, you want to come on and say something? I will definitely send you a link. If you drop your email in the chat, if you want to say something right now before we go out, all you got to do is drop your email in the chat and I'll send you a link. But Soul Tribe Chief Rare Bird is in the house. She is Big Mama on the land. She has a lot to say about where we are, where we're going, how the republic's being restored, all that good stuff. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. She may not have time to say anything today, but we'll bring her back on. Okay. Somebody says, I love that song. If we hear from her in the chat, I'm going to sing her a link. If not, enjoy the rest of the song.
Through her channel, knowledge flows, breaking chains that hold us close, teaching paths to abundance and wealth, guiding others to free themselves. Soul tribe rising, hear her call, raising vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia shows the way
I put a link in the chat, Chief Red Bird. If you want to say something today, you don't have to, but if you do, here it is. People are saying, "Hey, Chief Red Bird. Hey, Big Mama." Here's the. Is that the link? I think that's the link right there. I think that's the link. Uh, Somebody click that link and see if it works. Somebody click that and see if it works. Invite guests to the studio. She said she's available. Okay, well, here's the link. It's right here. If I have to, I'll go because my time is up. I'll go outside. I'm in the library, and the everything should still work. Oh my God! Hi, Chief. Speak to the people, Chief. It's such an honor and a blessing. I know I'm crazy, girl.
I am too.
Welcome,
We can
sister.
be crazy together. How about that?
I love it, Big Mama. I
You
love
know,
it,
it's
Mama.
crazy time now.
Yes,
I'm going to tell
ma'am.
you this.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
was just thinking about you. I'm on, as you see, I'm with my emperor.
Hi, Emperor. God bless
I'm on
you.
my way. I said, I need to get some dinner work done if I'm gonna be in front of the camera. You know, we gotta look our best. I'm
Yes.
just a down to earth person,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
with doing the work, the earth work, for our women. As you
Mm-hmm.
know, I've been on fire for the last week or so,
Mm,
and I want to thank my sister Adrana.
mm,
Her and I have united after reunited after 40 something years of me being trafficked, human trafficking, not knowing, that all the stuff that's happened with the children, that's been part of my life, and not even know it until recently, that her and I were separated at
mm.
while we were children.
Yes, ma'am.
So all that is going on earth right now is about the women, all women,
Mm,
all
mm,
culture
mm,
coming together and flipping the ecosystem,
mm.
because we are the ecosystem. It's
Mm.
nothing outside of us that would even compare to our ecosystem.
Yes, ma'am.
So we have to recognize, Dr. Kia, that we are spirit. And
Mm.
all
Keep
this
talking, Chief.
time, they have been, keeping us in our physical selves and not recognizing that they're mimicking us by calling us Holy Spirit. Well, yeah, I'm glad at least they chose the Holy Spirit as our name. So we got
Mm.
to be that what we are, Holy Spirits. That is on the land to take back, to bring heaven on earth, because heaven is within all of us, all of our women. You know why? Like Rod Hayes say, my son, we got the blood right. The blood
Mm.
right is that we bleed every month, every 28 days. That
Right,
says that we got the blood right. If you
right.
bleed and you have a menstrual cycle as a woman, you've got the
Woo.
blood right
Girl, I felt the
to take
spirit.
control of your Oval Office.
Mhm.
And your Oval Office is your yoni. Take
Mm.
control of your yoni.
I
Take
love that.
control of your Oval Office. It is your
Oval.
pure state energy that gives you the power to do anything that you desire, even the power to call anything to be. So
Thank
that's
you.
my word for everybody today. And if you want a little bit more, me
Yes,
and
we
the
do.
Emperor will be on the couch tonight
Okay.
on the couple night. Tonight is
Where,
couple night.
where you gonna be?
Friday night for all couples and those who are not couple, like, you can still come because you need to be on the couch with us tonight,
Where? Where
because
am I
we're
going?
talking about real stuff, putting back the family unit, bringing
Yes.
back the black love, all love,
All
okay? But
love.
right now, mine is melon love. All
Where?
that going on over there. You hear me?
Where?
So
Where,
let me
Chief?
tell you. So
Okay.
tonight, if you want a little bit more, because I've been going to every house in my mansion this week
My time, Chief.
and giving
My time is
everybody the message
my
in
time is
regards to the
almost.
metaphysical speaking side of ourselves. I'm speaking to the spirit of those who have an ear, let them hear. So I'm grateful today. It's Friday and I'm feeling right and tight. I'm feeling me and I'm good. And I've been looking forward to meeting you. You're such a doll, baby.
Thank
You hear
you.
me?
Thank you,
Mr.
Mama.
Black Madonna. You are so beautiful. You
Thank
remind
you.
me of myself. And when
Oh,
I'm looking at you, I'm looking at me.
oh, I got
And
chills.
when you're looking at me, you're
Oh,
looking at yourself.
thank you
And
so
that's
much.
what I have to say. We women got to start loving each other
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
and to
Chief.
create it illusion that we're in competition with each other.
Mm,
Those days as of Monday is over because I have
mm,
called in the great white spirits of the land, which is all the women. Let's come
okay.
on and let's do it, y'all. We got the station wagon ready and we're going to do the gangster lean and we're going to do that and we're going to do it right. And we're going to make the gangster lean in the hoopty called the station wagon look quite nice. We're gonna make the station wagon value go back up as of today. So everybody start going out looking for you a station wagon, that old school
Oh,
station wagon. And everybody have one and have all them chillings in the car with you. And
feelings.
let's go do the thing, y'all.
Where can they find
Ashe.
you? Ashe, where can they find you, Chief Rare
Okay,
Bird?
you have to unmute for me.
Oh, I'm muted. You can't hear me?
I can't hear you. Uh-uh.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
You know they got to mess with us.
Oh my God.
Call me on the phone. I left you my I put the my phone number on the chat if you want to call and then they can hear me. They can
Okay.
we can hear you.
Okay. 1 minute. Somebody
Uh,
tell Chief to say goodbye for me. Somebody
Well,
tell.
while she trying to get her audio together, uh, y'all just make sure that you go on the Shalagi Cherokee Turtle Island.org website and see what all is going on over there because we're securing 7 generations of children 7 days a week at 7 p.m. every day, Monday through Sunday. So there is something in the house for everybody. Come on to the house, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. If you guys can
Let me
hear
see.
me, thank
Let me see
you.
if it's me. Hold on one
Okay.
second. Okay, I think it was me.
Okay. Okay. So thank you, Chief Rare Bird. My time is out at the library, else we could go on and on. You said your number's in the chat. I want to contact you so we can just do it live and just have you talk and say whatever you have to say to the Soul Tribe.
Okay,
Because
so
we're just
I put my personal number in the
okay.
chat. And my
Okay.
188 number on my website, it rings to my phone. So if some reason you couldn't find my number in the chat, write down this number one
I'm ready.
1888
Yes.
48 487
487
5559
559. Okay.
extension 1.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
It
Thank you.
rings right to my phone. So I look forward. Are you going to call me in the next few minutes or you going to schedule some time with me?
What's best for you? I want to be
I'm
on your time.
I'm a free bird, girl.
Okay, I'll call you in a few minutes after I leave the library.
That sounds great. Love
Um,
you.
I love you too. I'm so honored to have you, family. We are so blessed and fortunate to have Chief Rarebird to bless us the Holy Spirit, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is the woman. So we thank the Most High that He brought on, or she brought on, the Holy Spirit to speak to us today. I hope nobody's offended. This is our ancient indigenous belief. Okay, there was Father, Son, Holy Ghost. It started off Asar, Aset, Heru, and then the Greeks came up with Osiris,
Uh-huh.
Isis, and
That's right. Hathor and so forth. And so we need to, women need to now connect to their history and their
Mhm,
genealogy. They've been talking about Osiris and Anubis and all of them, but
mhm,
there are female counterparts to them. And
mhm.
he can't exist without her. So they need to stop calling us the ghosts. We ain't ghosts. We just holy. Okay?
I love that. We ain't ghosts, we just holy.
Yeah.
Love and light, family. Love and light to you, Empress. I'm about to call you. I love you so much. I am so honored that you're here. I feel blessed. You blessed us today with your presence. God bless, Creator and Creatress bless you, Chief. God bless, and God bless your Emperor as well. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing her with us. All right, family, I better get out of here because my time is more than up. I love y'all, and I'll talk to you later. Peace, Chief.
From currencies to investments divine, she's helping her tribe to realign with wisdom, ancient and new, showing what we all can do. Soul tribe rising, hear her call, raising vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia shows the way to a brighter, freer day. Soul tribe rising, hear a call, raising vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia lights the way to a new and brighter day.
Bye bye, Soul Tribe. I love you all so very much. Go out and make this a great day. Peace.